Well, it's on the Ridealong, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Ridealong live. I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.
Yeah, it's the real deal. Welcome to Ridealong Live for today. Beautiful Monday on the ride. How you guys doing? Welcome. As you're coming, guys, go ahead and share up the thing. And give me a thumbs up. If you're hearing me and seeing me fine, give me a thumbs up. Put it up. Point it up. Let me know how you guys doing today. Yeah. Cassandra, how you doing? Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Share the thing. Lacey J, how you doing? Pick up yourself. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And listen, if nobody can tell you this for the day, if nobody can tell you this for the year, for the week, I love you. Yeah, I love you. I love all of you. Everybody. I love everybody. All right? If you're celebrating Valentine's, Montreal, big up all yourself. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love you. You overshare. There's nothing like overshare. Lacey J, there's nothing like overshare. You just share just the right amount of times. I'm trying to share. Before we bring on Mr.Killa, I wanna make sure that everybody share up the thing, eh? So let me do that as well. Let me share over here, pin this over here, share this over here. Yes. Yes. Hold on. I got 2 more pages I gotta share on. Bear with me. Hey, Akim. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. All right. Share. There we go. Good to go. All right, guys. So let me go straight ahead. before we start, I got to tell you guys that today's program is going to be a little bit long. We might go a little bit over time. All right? We might go a little bit over time. So you might have to work with me here. Okay? Boris, how you doing? Yeah. Stefan, what is it? Serafini? So as promoted, we have former international soca monarch artist, Mr.Killa. He is a cultural ambassador in Grenada. He's a performer, active performer. He owns a number of mediums, radio station. He streamed live on right here on Facebook as well. We team up with Mr.Killa on a number of projects. Mr.Killa launched one of the big musical empire, and we were following and supporting that cause. As of recently, well, not as of recently. I mean, Mr.Killa always been speaking, but it seems as of recently, a lot of people started pay more attention. Well, not more attention because they still listen to his music, but a lot of attention to what the man is saying. So much so he's become a very controversial person, right? Always been controversial if you ask me, but more so controversial in terms of his utterance, his recent utterance as it relates to vaccine, as it relates to COVID-19. And Mr.Killa just released a video which is stirring up quite an amount of controversy. He spoke out about things happening in Grenada, spoke out about healthcare, unemployment, a lot of different things. So on that specific topic, I want to engage Mr.Killa on to explain some of the things that he spoke about, to give us some more details of it, and to see from his perspective, because he does own a very large platform, what could be done to fix the problem. Because if we have a problem, we're going to try to look for solutions. So Mr.Killa is my guest here today. Let me see if we could bring Mr.Killa in. Mr.Killa, are you there? See if we could bring Mr.Killa in right now. See if you could link up with him. Killa, are you there? All right, Mr.Killa got logged up, but he'll be back on very soon, very soon. But let me also tell you guys this, that you too could participate in this conversation, right? You too could participate in this conversation. It's an open discussion. It's an open forum. But, however, I must say that as we do and we urge in every program, we're asking that everyone respect the guest. Now, you may have difference of opinion. You may have a different idea, a different way of going about things, but we ask and urge everyone to please respect our guests. All right? All right, we got a truce. Let's wait for Mr.Killa to reconnect, and we're gonna get him on the program. In the meantime, I see Limus Gilbert. I see who else? No, Royal Lewis, big up yourself. Who else we have? Akeem Alexander, good night to you. Big up, big up. Wait for Mr.Killa to reconnect back, because we do have a lot to talk about. We do have a lot to talk about. Let me get him to reconnect. While we wait for Mr.Killa to reconnect, guys, let me ask you guys a question. What did you do for Valentine's Day? Like, what is the norm? What's the normal thing that people do for Valentine's Day? Because I normally don't do anything, right? I'm really not a big supporter or fan of Valentine's Day. So I don't do nothing. So let me know what you guys do on Valentine's Day. What is the thing? What is the big thing? What is the what you get? You get flowers, candy. Did you go out on a date? Anybody went out on a date? Nothing? Not one thing at all? All right. Well, they're just like me then. Okay, so Mr.Killa is back, reconnected with us. So let us join in with the man himself, Mr.Killa, former international soca monarch, former monarch in Grenada, media mogul. Mr.Killa, how are you doing, sir?
Greetings. I'm fine. How you doing?
I good, man. I just chilling. Man. You know, it's always nice. Killa, listen, it's always nice to have you on the program. And you are one of the individual that every year or so we have to have a show like this where we could talk. If you check back every year, Killer, around this time we have a conversation.
True, true.
So,
True.
so
That thinking about it now, that's true. That's
yes,
true.
we always have to have a conversation. It's important. It's important. And in fact, I wanted to have this conversation with you last week. Not last week, 2 weeks ago or so. It didn't happen then, but I think now is the right time to talk. So first, Mr. Killa, let's reconnect with you. What you been doing? What you been doing? I know you're always busy doing something. What you been doing recently?
Well, I've been working. I've been on the road for 9 months. Well, the other day I had to make sure I call you to come and stream.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
launch of I Am Rebel in the United States. So for the past couple months, I've been really working hard on finding a way how I can help the music art form culture on a whole. For the years, brother, I've been in Soca Monarch, I've been in competitions, I've been doing things for a while, but it has always been very painful to accept the fact that I am not getting paid for my music, not getting paid for my music properly. So streaming, the streaming platform, collecting from those platforms, the companies that came through the Caribbean also, and literally raping the culture. I wanted to get away from that. So what I did is open my own distribution publishing company in the United States, and also a music library. So I had the opportunity to then to place music in like Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I did the intro for that, created the intro for that. That's a little bit of history right there for a Caribbean artist being able to create the intro for that, and also place 22 songs. So
Mhm,
yeah, so we placed 22 songs in in the show itself. Um,
mhm.
so not just me, but I plays the Skinny Bantan, the Violin, Ned, um, Leadneck, um, Vaughn. You know what I mean? So Grenadian artists on a whole. There was a couple artists from some other islands also that I placed in there, but that was the whole move, to be able to open those gates, open those doors. Black people in the United States hardly even own music libraries. So that in itself is a monstrous achievement, and that's what I've been working on.
Mhm, mhm.
Also the
Yeah.
platform, also the platform. I
Which
am
which
a
is
platform
great, I think.
which
Which
is
which
like a
which was
yeah, one stop, not shop, but one stop supermarket online for music on a whole.
right, right, right. Let me ask you, Killer. But let me first say, on full disclosure, I am a big fan of your work. I like your work ethics. You're that kind of person. You remind me of myself sometimes because it's like you never sleep. You don't sleep. You're always thinking about ways to improve on the craft. You always advancing and getting better every single time. And I really applaud you on those things. I mean, you have been representing Grenada and the Caribbean and soca music. You won international soca monarch. You represented Grenada all over the place. I saw you I saw you on BBC. I mean, you really you travel the world and you always fly the Caribbean flag high. And I support you 100%. Not everything you say, I'm in full support of. And I'll tell you right now, sometimes, you do post some stuff. I was like, okay, all right. But respectfully, I respect you as a person who have an opinion. Do you think that the ecosystem of the culture is just intending to keep you into a box where you could only speak, or you should only speak and not voice and speak out? I mean, you should only sing and not voice your opinion and your feelings about certain things. Do you think that you are in a way trying to be wanting to be boxed into a certain ecosystem?
Junior, that's not for me alone. If you're a carpenter, that mean you don't have no sense. If you're a mason, that mean you don't have no sense. If you're the artist, that mean you don't have no sense. And that is almost like a culture. That is what people believe. If you're an artist, that mean that is all you know. You're just supposed to sing and that's it. But before I was an artist, I was a human being. I was a man, a young black man, a matter of fact. You see, a king trodden on this land came from blood of royalty. That is what I am. So before you anything, you are a human being first. You are a man first. You know. So we do have a culture that tend to feel because you're in a certain line of work that you should not stand up and speak for your right. A matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, if anything happening, nobody should stand up and speak for the rights in this time. You see? And you're seeing this culture happening not just in Grenada, but around the world. So the rights of humanity, like one of the big boys said the other day, once you are a part of society, you have to be willing to give up your human rights. What kind of statement is that? What is a human
Mm-hmm.
now? A human has been, I know you see in the time when you really study our history, then you realize you have people like Charles Darwin that has wrote a type of Bible, a type of text, the way though there was a type of people that believe that me as a black man is less than a human. You see, so in the Constitution of America, we are placed in there what 80% of a
Mm-hmm.
human being. We are not pure. When you sit down and you look at those cultures, brother, you would realize that it is now spreading within our own society,
Mm-hmm.
among our own people. Some of our own leaders have that mentality that you shouldn't speak. Once you start speaking, you are demonized. So
Mm-hmm.
if the man next door raping a child and he in a certain position, you shouldn't speak about it.
Right.
Even though the country is dying and the people are bawling for help, you shouldn't speak about it. Let them do it. How is
Mm-hmm.
that, brother? Living? That's not living, that is surviving. But we came here to live.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And live as a people. So yes, there is a culture that makes you feel you're not supposed to express yourself, express your concern, or challenge anything at all. You see, people that say, don't blame the government. And you cannot blame the government for everything. And I am not political. So it doesn't matter whether it's NDC, NNP, NNL, LCF. It doesn't matter what is the name of the government or what title do they hold, but they are the government. You see? And words, as the English language, you say, inside of the language was created inside of the language, and inside the language, there's the language of war, language of law, the language of sacred geometry, language of spirituality. And those things has been created to also control this, created in a control form. So words have sometimes double meaning. The word
Mm-hmm.
government mean to take charge. Government to take charge. Ment mean mental. So it's to take charge of the minds of the people. You see? So at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, government is charged with a task to lead the people into greatness, into success, and great upliftment, into prosperity. So if there is an entity that is leading and you see the society is becoming shaky, the youths are going astray, or things are wrong, then why shouldn't you speak? As a matter of fact, if the government is in power, we put them in power, the people. You
Mm-hmm.
see? So at the end of it, the government is working for the people. The government have a job, but we don't
Right.
have that culture no more. A lot of the time, people feel like the government almost own the country. There are ministers that are doing things that are unacceptable. Shouldn't I
True.
speak about it? Because you see, when I's an artist, you know, but you have politicians, you have doctors, lawyers that speak about me if they think I do something wrong. I remember when I go to that and I decided I'm not taking part in Soca Monarch. How much people is he talking about Mr.Killa? How much
Mm-hmm.
people is air the opinion? Huh? Did I jump
Mm-hmm.
up and fight and cuss those people? Did I fight with them? Was I upset? I said, you know what? If that's how people see it, that's how
Mm-hmm.
they see it. I'm going to make the best decision in representing my country.
When you representing your country, you are granted with a cultural ambassador um, passport. You're a cultural ambassador. Do you think that that kind of narrows you into the kind of things that you should or shouldn't do, or say or shouldn't say? What is the
That is your business.
responsibility of you as a cultural ambassador?
My responsibility as a cultural ambassador is to defend the culture and to represent my country internationally. That is the job of an ambassador. You understand what I'm saying? It's to help grow and market, develop my art form, my culture. That's why I'm an ambassador of it. So if there is somebody killing it, I'm supposed to defend it.
Right.
You see? But you have some people now, and I want to say this plain. You have some people this morning, somebody called me, tell me some man had
Yeah. Some
some man
I can
had
flash it over. You don't even need you don't even need a mention, eh? Don't even
some
need a
man
mention.
have some I'm talking about. If I need to speak, I should give up the ambassadorship. How? What did I speak about? I speak about the youths, Junior. I live for 9 months. And I spoke about the youth. I come back and meet around 7 young men missing. Where they gone? Prison. Young women in my society, brother, and other places. Because don't feel because I'm from Guav, that is where you understand? I have foot. No. Every block in Guav. I mean in Grenada. You check? And I have friends there. The other day in Dubai. When I in Dubai, the brothers from Fraud call, hey, Killa, da 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 da. And everybody gather in the shop to have a conversation. Brother, the youths are tired. And I'm not saying that the prime minister never do nothing good. Nobody here to come and talk this politics. And don't use my word for no politics, because I'm here to defend the people. You see? That is the same people who pay the money and come to my show and support me. Now, if I am in a position and I have a platform to defend them, I will do it with everything that I have. And I am not the person to come and tell, okay, well, oh, you shouldn't say that because you know you and that person good. Or you. This is about the country. This is not about friendship. You see? Because we have a problem, Junior. You have a set of young women getting molested by the family members and all kind of things. I hearing complaints on the streets. We need programs for those things. A level of insanity is growing in the country. Mental frustration, the mental health of the people. How the other day when vaccination supposed to happen, there was a big movement, big drive. Where the big cancer drive, where the big dialysis drive, because people dying from that too. In the pandemic, I gave people, brother, money, $800, $1,500, $800, $500. In the pandemic, I almost go broke, brother. 286 families, we jump out and see how we could give a little something. And it used to hurt me because that still can't help them.
Yeah.
That still can't do nothing for them. And I understand that the world is in a state. I understand that, but there is other issues that is also very important, and nobody can tell me nothing because, Junior, I come to understand what they are doing. Some people is getting very wealthy, very rich, and I don't mind business. But when you do your business, also remember that there is a country, and there is youth men, and there is young women hungry. You see? And that is all I am concerned about. So then instead of coming and talk about, oh, Mr. Killa this or Mr. Killa that, don't worry about me. I could eat every day. Don't worry about me. Worry about the youth man that can't eat. Worry about the children who don't have money to go to school. 110,000 people on the island. And you know what makes me so upset, Junior? There is people that try to help. And I know the facts about that. I have the story. People contact me. Don't feel like I don't have the connections at the level where they are. I have the same connections. That is what the real problem is. So now I have facts. You see? But I still deal with it with respect and a level of diplomacy. I deal with it diplomatically. I come out and I talk and I express myself because somebody need to speak. Because I realize you sit down in the office and you explain those things, nobody here. So it goes under the table, wash under the rug. These people that talking, Junior, do not know nothing about what's happening here. They don't know. You see? Right now, Grenada maybe have more guns than Baghdad. And I'm not asking you that. I am telling you. So when they get stuck inside of the offices, when they get stuck, you see, within those four walls and don't understand what is happening to the minds of the youth, what happens to us?
Yeah.
What happens to us? And that is all I am saying. Wake up and help the community. I do it. I wake up and I do it. And you in a better position to do it. But I don't see you. So when you're going to come, when election coming, tired of that foolishness. And what, drop $100 on the block? I'm tired of that. And I want to tell the youth man and them, don't take that no more. I want some of the investors that come in on the island, call me. I'm bright enough. I have enough intelligence. Don't make me feel because I was a youth man and I was a little black youth man. You was a little youth man too. All of us was young, but I was a big man now. Call me. With the investors, when you see this video, pick up your phone and call me. Find me. Let us do youth programs. Let us invest in schools. Let us invest in education and not just one type of things. I go to Dubai the other day. I don't want to start to talking because, Junior, I'm not talking yet. I ain't started to talk yet.
Well, you know, I know exactly where you're coming from, Killa. Because I know. Before you go on to your next point, I know, and I understand how the system here work. I see it from my perspective, right? There have been. I remember an agency, I believe it's the GTA, a few years ago. The GTA contacted me, and the GTA said to me, "Great program. We know you reach millions of people. And we understand your reach, the potential in the diaspora, but not for once." She said that they wouldn't advertise with me because of the type of things that we choose to talk about. So right then and there, I stopped because I wasn't, first of all, I wasn't begging for any advertising from any agency because I understand when they pay you, they expect to muzzle you. So I cut this conversation right there. So there are certain people who are in the circuit of things. They are getting money, and because they're getting paid, they can't talk. This platform is not one of these platforms. We talk about everything. We open up the conversation for people who are for and against. And because you are speaking about it and I'm here listening to it, it doesn't necessarily mean I am totally in support of everything that you're saying, but I understand exactly what you're saying because it's in the same vein that we are struggling through. It's the same thing, the same problems that we see, but we can't be afraid to speak out and stand
because
up.
Junior, I just say, not everything that I might say as a person that you would support, because not everything I understand that you might understand. You understand what I'm saying? And not everything that you might say I might support, because not everything you might explain that I might understand. But tell me, what is so hard to support a statement like encourage the youth into education? What is so hard to support that? What is so hard to support a statement of infrastructure? What is that? What is so hard to support a statement of industrialization? What is so hard about that? What about supporting the people who want to support the community? What's so hard about that? Tell me which part of my statement that is so hard to support. You understand? I'm speaking about the basic things that we're supposed to have as a community, as a society. It is upsetting, brother. How come young women between like 21 to 23, 24, Brother, you have places right now you go and people lining cocaine right here in my country, right in front of you. Them not seeing that. So they can't talk to me. And though some people, oh, but the kids grow with the family and the family responsible. Okay. Some of the families themselves have been suffering from lack of education. A man cannot give what he doesn't have, cannot explain what he doesn't understand, cannot express what he doesn't feel.
Right.
So there is a culture that need to be broken. More need to get done. We need infrastructure when we speak about farming. Listen to me. Nobody's not perfect, right? So, and I am not begging the government for things because
Right.
I don't need to depend on the government to live. I don't have to live in Grenada, but this is my home. But Junior, you know that. I can live, go to my property in New York. I can live, go to a property in Atlanta. I can live other places. If they want to know my business, I can explain that to them. But that is not necessary. You see? No, I don't have to do this. But it is painful because I am not begging the government for things. You have times I ask ministers, help me to help you, Mr. Minister. Let me help you. But if I cannot even get the opportunity to help my community by helping you, or you just directing me into some places so I could do more to help my community, something wrong with you, then you don't understand what is community development.
Right.
You see? So how you is a minister? That is all I am saying. I don't want to be disrespectful. So that's why I'm being diplomatic. Because I could be a Grenadian and the guava could come out in me anytime. I don't have to have, don't feel like, because, oh, as an artist, I supposed to do. Don't tell me what I supposed to do. What I supposed to do is defend my country. And that is what I am doing. And who vex, that is their business. And I will defend my country, not by pelting big stone. I will defend my country by using the intelligence that I have and the knowledge and the understanding and the keys of life. Seek, knock, ask, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That is what I have learned. And there is deeper self. I am mental, physical, and spiritual. Some people are locked in the physical realm and do not know how to step outside of that, so they cannot connect to the real things and the movement of life. There is a great thing happening in the universe and around the world right now where people are waking up. You see? People are waking up. I sent out a whole video speaking about some issues. Instead, see how they're small-minded. Instead of somebody now reach out and say, well, all right, Killa, here what's going on. Where are those issues and how can we work on them together? Oh, but he this and that. We're tired of this small-minded. All they pay attention and all they go realize who have sense in them, who have eyes will see, and who have ears will hear. Because if you have sense, then you will realize that a man who really have a certain level in life will learn to take the correction when it is necessary.
Yeah, true.
If a man telling you, yo, you're squeezing my hand breaking, oh God, you're breaking my hand, that you wouldn't ease up or say, okay, hold on, you know, let me ease up so you can move your hand. It's more pressure on the hand, so all you could care about the man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's always good to have this conversation with you because you know why? You have a very large platform. You reach a lot of people and a lot of people listen to you, right? So I think by isolating some of the problems and looking at some of the things that you outline is also good that we could start speaking about how we as a people with platforms and with microphones could fix the problem. So let's start with healthcare. Based on some of the things that you identified, some of the problems that you identify dialysis, you identify, the just going to the hospital. It's a problem. How do you foresee that these things need to be fixed? What are some of the solutions to this problem?
The first solution to any problem is to understand what the problem is, Junior.
Right.
After you understand what the problem is, then you can start to hash it out. So we're still trying to figure out what some of the problem really is. You understand what I'm saying? But I would tell you the biggest thing to solve a lot of the problems that we have in different ministries is vision. Because if you don't have a vision, so you keep looking at cardboard boxes, we're going to build this speaker, we're going to build it out of cardboard box. But you don't have the vision to move into fiberglass. You will remain in cardboard box forever. You
Right.
see? So there is a lack of vision. Also, there is a lack of care. A lot of people, you give them something to manage, they don't look at the development of that or how they can take it from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or get innovative in a way where we are beyond even that. They just manage what is there. But remember, that is something that is dealing with people every single day. So what do you think happened? It is going to deteriorate. Wear and tear. Time is going down. So in the in the hospital the other day, they had a mold problem. Doctors getting sick, nurses getting sick. That's craziness. The people who are supposed to keep me well getting sick from just being in the hospital. Dialysis machines. I know dialysis machines was donated. So I'm asking questions. What happened to those machines? So why dialysis now is $800? I have doctors that from foreign and different places that is willing to come here to train staff, willing to come here to work for a year. I also have people who wants to donate machines. I also know of machines that was donated, but
Yeah, he was stolen. Dennis and George wrote a piece here. He said, Dennis and George Forrester, he said he donated 2 kidney dialysis machines costing thousands of dollars together with the loads of healthcare products to Grenada government and hospital 3 years ago to the consulate. They picked up the machine, shipped it to Grenada. I was told later they received the confirmation in the healthcare sector that the 2 machine was received, and however, it was stolen. They said that someone picked it up at the port, but they don't know who.
how?
So it was lost.
How? How? So you see what I mean? But anyways, I am saying again, right here now, I have the ability to get Grenada maybe up to about 5 or 6 dialysis machines right now. Where do they go? How can we do this? How can we make it work? Junior, all I'm doing is asking to help, you know.
Yeah.
All I asking is to change a certain type of mentality because they're in the position to make things happen. But if you're blocking me, or you're blocking the people who want to help because you might look bad, because you're in the position to do it, but you're hustling the country.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to say that. So if tomorrow the government decide, well, for having a discussion about the country live, or asking or requesting to help, or requesting for change of the things that is wrong, that you want to revoke my passport, then go right ahead and give me the real opportunity to then talk, and the real opportunity to fight for my country, because I ain't talking yet.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny that you said that, because we oftentimes see this, that people tend to shoot down the folks who could help the most, the people who are possibly in position to assist. Those are the ones that they're fighting down, when even if you disagree with the person. But hear what they're saying. But you know what exists? egos. People with big egos. And they feel if they work with a certain individual, then the person might have some more creative ideas. Because I would think that with the initiative, the plans, the stuff that you have donated before, you should be called in and see, okay, how we could get this dialysis in the country, how we could lower the cost of dialysis by providing more equipment in, and avoid the dialysis machine gets stolen at the port, all this kind of crap. Fix that. And so you are helping the government, and you are helping the people, you are helping everyone in society. So that's a good thing. But egos is prevailing in this conversation, because as you rightfully said, the blabbermouth guy that was on the radio station and talking a bunch of crap, he's a mouthpiece and he's a defender. Like,
Well, Junior, listen to me. I, the youth man, no. I just realized that there are some people that have position to be speaking to my nation. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. You're supposed to have a certain type of level of understanding, you see, to even speak to the nation. That is one of the problem here. Because when you listen to the reasoning, brother, how could you be fighting progress? How could you be fighting growth? How could you fight the basic?
It makes it look bad. It makes the status quo look bad. It makes the status quo look bad.
But you know what? Them things that have to happen, Junior. Why? Because then people get to see. Because you know how much people call me today? You know how much people call me today? And one man said to me, Killa, you have to tell them what really happening. And I say, me, I am not going to answer to those people because, Junior, they can't talk to me. You understand? I came from nothing to something. But you see today, the something that I am, I know what I am, brother. And as a little black man, but if you are not a part of the FFF gang, the friends, the fans, and the family, or the freedom fighters forever, then you can't talk to me. Mm-hmm. You see? You could talk about me because I'm important. But you cannot talk to me. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Lion don't bite behind flies. You see? And I stop match cockroach with my expensive shoes.
That's a good note to open up the phone lines, guys. I want you guys to be a part of this conversation. We're talking about building, nation building, infrastructure building, improvement. Seeing as a problem and seeing how we could fix the problem. All the time I have to big up John Crow.
Look at this. I opened this studio here.
Yeah.
This studio is not to even charge youths and stuff, you know. I build a whole studio and a radio station, and I give to my team, you know. Even if they might struggle to manage, because some of, you know, you understand, you're in a society where some people still need to learn a lot of things, but at least I try that. I get 8 acres of land and try to influence youth into farming. I doing that. The dig in Guave, that bus, it does not belong to me, which is an ancient dam. But for water and for farmers around, they could be able to use. I went ahead and I fixed it. I don't have all the money in the world, but the liquor that I have, I try to invest it back into my community. You see? So, if me as a little man could do this little bit, the government could do this big bit. You understand? Mm-hmm. And what the government cannot do, then we as citizens supposed to help the government do. But it's supposed to be a movement. It's supposed to be a relationship.
Right.
But there's a big disconnect. Because most of the time we don't see them.
Yeah. Most of the time they don't answer the phone.
And literally now it reached where you start to realize that they don't care. But people just realize that now. The pandemic make them realize that. So the pandemic not only doing, bad things. You have some good things too.
The truth and the fact about it, Killer, people find it easier, and it's sad when people find it easier to reach you in Dubai or reach me in New York than to reach the elected parliamentary representative that's supposed to be in the same neighborhood. It's sad when someone is calling you, and I know they call me all the time. I have to put it off to my producer, Lynn. She takes all the calls.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have to do this, Dubai, brother. I could be cocked up in Dubai by a pool somewhere. Nice. You understand? Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. I have full access. You understand what I'm saying? Enough place I have access. My friends own clubs, owns this, owns that. You understand what I'm saying? We work on businesses abroad. I could be traveling. I could be partying and having fun. But look at me. What we are there? Sit down, fighting. People want to. You understand? Look at where I'm at. Look at where I'm there, brother. Why do I need to do this? No, but I can't help it because I am a Grenadian. What is the spirit of Grenada? Grenada is a revolutionary country, not just because of the 1983, but even before that. Check our history.
Yeah.
You see?
Let's take a call, Killer. Let's take a quick call. Let's take a quick call coming from Grenada. I think it's a long distance, so let's just get him on. Caller, live, where you calling us from?
Hi, good evening, Mr. Hall. Mr.Killa, that is where I met Mama Cheryl.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I just love to hear him speak because you know what? All through these years, we sit and we take everything down and we stay quiet. The church stay quiet. The nation stay quiet. The youth stay quiet. But now it seems as though it reached to our neck and we're being submerged in water and we're looking like we're going to drown. And that's the last straw we have to hold on to. So I want to say to you, I am very, very proud of you as a young man that taking this step. And I think you're going to influence the youths, especially the young men that you're so passionate about. I just want to say I will continue to hold you up as a young man in my prayers and see Grenada move for the youths especially. And I see your passion and I see how you're determined to push. And we're going to help you do that. Continue doing what you're doing. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, Killer, she's applauding you on the great efforts and the things that you've been doing. Oh, and your audio muted.
Yeah, I lost you for a minute. I only heard the last.
She was just congratulating you on the efforts and saying that they'll work with you. We need to work together. And that is the kind of foundation that we need to set, where we could work together as a people, because no one is an island, no one man is an island. We all need to work together, come together, and come with ideas. And I like when we proposing not only seeing the problems as you saying it, we're not only seeing the problems, but we could also isolate and give ideas on solution. Let's take another caller. Caller, live, where you calling us from?
Hey, Junior. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. Do me a favor, turn down your background a little bit. I'm hearing your background.
Yeah. Hey, Killer, big up yourself, man. Yep. Real talk. Facts.
Bless
Junior, you see the leaders in Grenada and the churches. Junior, these people have failed us, Junior. They have failed us and they have failed this nation. Churches are so powerful, Junior, that these people, they just sit back, Junior, and they don't address the wickedness and the spitefulness that this present administration is doing to Grenada and Grenadians. This government is destroying Grenada. And look at the churches, what they do. Junior, you recall a few months ago,
caller there? All right, we seem to lose that caller. But again, we're keeping the phone line open, 718-701-5720. Back to your point, Killer, you was making me before I had to take the call. Okay, person is calling back. Caller, go ahead.
Hi, Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected.
Yeah.
You remember a few months ago when Pastor Simon made that statement, when he reached out to the Prime Minister and saying, you need to find a successor. You need to find a successor and find one fast. Look what this man is addressing. He's addressing politics, as a pastor, instead of dealing with the issues that are affecting the nation. He's getting into politics and asking this ageable Prime Minister to find a successor. Instead of this man reach out to the Prime Minister and said, look, you need to fix things in Grenada, correct the infrastructure of this country, get it right. The health sector, the education.
Yeah.
These are the things these pastors and the church is supposed to be addressing. He's talking about leader I mean, come on. The churches have failed us, Junior. These people don't address the issues. They just sit back and allow this administration to destroy this country. Because why? Maybe they're getting a few dollars in their cash fund.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thanks for your input. Appreciate it. Killa, what says you?
I would say this, brother. When come to politics, politics is a thing that I have never really feel to connect to. Simply because politics has also really speak a great relationship, a great language between corruption. You see? So I always looked at it and say, boy, it's a very tricky place to be, tricky place to stand. I don't want to speak about politics. I want to speak about the upliftment of my country.
Right.
So the people that are in politics, I want them to know that the people of the country is what the country really is. You see? The country is not just the infrastructure, because you could fix all the roads that you want to fix. But it's about the people who is walking and driving on those roads. You could build all the hotels that you want to build, but it's about the people working in those hotels. You see? So at the end of the day, the most important thing in your country is your people. And they has lost the sense of that. There is a culture of greed. And sometimes I just wonder if the Prime Minister knows how some of his colleagues does function. I ask that all the time. But there is some madness happening, brother. Some madness, and as I say, I don't even wish to talk or to address those things. I just want somebody to rise up and fix them. Let us fix those things. You see me? That is what it is. So I don't want to get too tied up in the politics, because
you have a point.
Me, if NDC or NNP or PNP or whoever it is, if NNP is not doing the job, or the Prime Minister has been there for many, many years, and we need a certain type of change, just like if I'm in Soca Monarch, and I've been in Soca Monarch for years, and I'm doing it, and I said, you know what, it's time for the younger people now to come and bring that energy that they have and lift it up. Like how I create the new energy of Soca Monarch. I created that. Yes or no? You see? But then I leave it. Boys, they come in. Take the formula. Play with it. Boom. Gone with it. You see? He will leave it sometime soon also, for somebody else to come. That is how life is. because some of the decisions that the prime minister, some of the ministers will make now, they would not be there to suffer from it.
True. Let's jump back to the phone lines, Killa. Caller on the WhatsApp, go right ahead.
Hello, I want to speak directly to Mr. Hollis. Mr. Hollis, I just want to say, you know what? In the early time before, I didn't like you at all, at all, at all. But I'm telling you today, I love you and I love you abundantly because I see that you have a heart of love, a heart of compassion. You have a heart that cares so much about people and the people who need help. God bless you, Mr. Hollis Map, and keep fighting for the people. And let me tell you, Grenada need rescue. The people that you are there defending, they are looking up to you. And we want you to represent us 100%. I want to see you representing us on a diplomatic platform. Join the team and rescue Grenada. I'm asking you to put up yourself to run for election. Let the people select you and elect you to continue to put your fight into a reality and fight for the people and continue to fight for Grenada. Fight. But the biggest fight I need you to fight is to represent us politically, diplomatically. Okay? Please run for election and give us that opportunity to heal our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much, caller. Killa, I want you to reserve that answer for a quick second, right? Think about it and reserve it. Let me just jump to this next call, and then I'll get your response about if you think politics might be in your near future. Caller on the phone lines, go right ahead.
Good night, Junior, and good night to your guest, Mr. Killa.
Yes.
The biggest entertainer Grenada ever had in a long time, Killa. As everybody has said, you're making us proud and continue to make us proud. Okay, Junior. Some of my points, Killa hit the nail on the head. Because as I said, I was saying that sometimes, you know, a lot of the people in political position in Grenada got it because of politics. You understand? And I think that is one of the problems that is killing Grenada, is that we do not put the people who could actually do the work, we put the people who support us. But sometimes, you know, as I say to people, criticism is good. You understand? Simply because it makes you check yourself, it makes you know where you are, and it makes you aware of things that you may not be aware of. You understand? As Killa said, I believe some of the problems that NNP is having in Grenada is because the Prime Minister put persons there, but to represent the country. But I don't think he knows some of the people that he puts there, because they're there and they're advancing themselves, their friends, and their family instead of doing the work of the people and making the country look bad. But then again, the Prime Minister still has to be blamed, because he should be aware of what is going ahead when he appoints persons as well. I am not taking that part of it from him, right? But Grenada is in a state now where I don't think, and honestly, I don't think the present administration is listening to the cry of the people. And that's the problem. They're not listening to the cry of the people. Their agenda is their agenda, and I think they need to go back to the drawing board and listen to the people. You understand? And I think that is the main problem. And as Killa said, you have people there that want to help, but because of the political affiliation, they would not take your help. And when you look at it, who you think would be losing? The people of Grenada. You understand? So I think really and truly, the administration really needs to go back to the drawing board and sit down and try to listen to the people's concern. Because when you look at it right now, you have the most die-hard NNP supporters are turning their backs. And that should be an indication to you that something is not right, that something needs to be looked into.
Thank you so much,
That's
caller.
just my contribution.
Thank you so much, caller.
Hello,
Yes.
Junior George.
All right. Killa, let's talk a bit, and then we're going to jump back to the phone lines. Now, you mentioned about putting square peg in the wrong hole, people who supposed to be there to work on a political level. Sometimes people call me, they say they can't find the elected official, they don't know where they is, they don't answer in their phone. The most common thing is that they need some assistance, and sometimes, you know, yourself and others have to lend support. Do you think politics is in your near future?
As I said, Junior, I don't know what will happen in the future. I'm going to tell you how I function as a person. I don't want to be in politics right now. You see? I want to help my government when I could, and help my people when I could, and how I could, and in any way that I can. Junior, if the Father said to me in the future, 4 years, 5 years from now, whenever it is, that is there you have to go to then defend your people, I will do it. But for now, I am an artist. You understand what I'm saying? I want to perform. I am making great stride in the entertainment world. I'm about to challenge new genres and, you know, new barriers and stuff like that, which is also breaking grounds for my country and helping and opening those gates for other artists to come. Music is my passion. Music is my love. And it is sad that even in Grenada, I cannot survive when it comes to music. I have to leave. I have to travel to make my daily bread. And I come back home and I invest it here. I go hunting and I come back. I am a great hunter. I was built for this. The Father gave me the talent and I use it with every drop of blood, every bit of sweat that I have. People might talk and say, oh, as the lady say, maybe Killa, I didn't like you before. Why? But it's because now everybody's supposed to like my music. But Junior, I was 16 years. And I was on the streets, brother. Yeah? The streets of New York, brother. Where everything was wrong. You see? And I fight. There are times I give myself a week to live. But I chose music because I could have do drugs. And I will tell you this because people don't know me. I feel like some people does feel like when I talking, it's for something. I don't need no more popularity. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to come in. Grenadians know me from since I was a child. From baby killer to Mr.Killa. So I don't need to be here. I'm traveling. I could get way more popular if I'm out there doing some music or something. You see? But Junior, I was 16 and I found the root and the pool of negativity. I watched some of my friends die. Them don't know my life. And if I have to do something, Junior, I'm going to make sure that I'm good at it. So you see, if I bad, a good bad. So it's either killing people, it's either you're selling drugs, or you're down that road. It's either jail or the burial ground. You see, at that time. But I chose music. So when I hit the stage, Junior, and I dance, my songs before was like gospel, you know. After the wood can done, I will never give up. I sing that. Forward ever, backward never. I sing that. Warriors. I sing that. When I sing Defense, wake up this morning and I set myself a mission to keep on fighting and to break down walls of Satan. No matter the size of wall, I come here to make that fall. All of those songs, go back and listen to them, Junior. I was fighting negativity to become the best person that I supposed to. Junior, I used to smoke. Some of them don't know that. Smoke hard. I decided I don't want to do that because if I have to go into the schools to talk to the kids, I can't be doing that. I stopped drink. And I wash myself clean because of the love of my queen too. She said, lift my nose. How could I go out there and embarrass my mother like that and my family? Because at the time I started to study Black history. So I could have been something way worse, but I choose music. And now, after I choose music and study my Black history, I realized that I am carrying the blood of the great entertainers, the great musician. So I use it to my fullest. So here I am now, during the pandemic. Junior, open a whole new world to me. I travel through Grenada, dropping off food. Junior, and I see people, old man, piece of foot, lie down on a piece of mattress, pissing on himself, don't have nobody to take care of him. I go to a old man house, 95-year-old, taking care of herself. They give some people food here and don't give her, and I don't even want to say why. You see? I come out of people's house, breaking down in tears to see how people still living in poverty in this time.
Yeah.
You see? Right where I live in Guelph, Junior, you can come see yourself. So much people don't even have bathroom up to this day and proper toilet. They have to be using public toilet. I understand, you know, not everybody do the right things, but everybody deserve a chance.
Yeah.
Everybody deserve a chance. And that is what my problem is. So I don't come here to run down nobody. And I don't come here to watch nobody things. And I don't need no position. I don't need to be in no politics. I'm just asking to make sure that my little Grenada, my little Spice Isle Rock, it hurts me that every time I talk to a youth, they want to leave here. And I travel into other islands and other places, brother. Come on, and they don't have what we have. But where is the industrialization? Where is the real development? And you know what I learned? Hear what I learned? There were some people interested in helping, and they are not getting the opportunity. And again, not yet. I wouldn't say why. But just think about that for a minute. So how could you really love my people?
Yeah.
So I am just... Right. I'm just expressing my pain and my concerns.
Yeah. Let's just jump to the call real quick here. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, I'm calling from the USA.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, the last point that Mr. Killa just made, that he's not there, I want to really reiterate that again for persons listening, that he's not there to run down anyone. He's making a point based on a situation. It might be an acute one. It might be a widespread one. I'm not saying that Grenada doesn't have some level of poverty. We're not bad as southern places in Africa or in the same USA that send food all over the world. Poverty exists all over. And he said, and it played on his emotion. And he's a human being. He has an emotion as everyone else.
Right.
I agree. And I want to congratulate him on the move that he made during the pandemic to go out and to reach out to persons.
Yes.
A lot of people would have taken a lot of things that he said out of context. And I hope that he do not fall into any sort of a hot water, because remember, he has a diplomatic passport. And I don't think if I should do some damage control here, or some rehashing of the words that he said, he's not there to bring anybody down or bring on the government. There are certain things that he sees going on, and he feel that he should be dealt with. Grenada does not understand the pandemic as just as how any other country in the world, except China, understands COVID-19. COVID-19 has brought us to a whole different dimension. It opened up a lot of things that we were kind of a bit naive to. Safety, in food security, our health, our own health, personal health, and so on. And right now, it teaches us to be self-sufficient. Yes. We are 48 years, a 48-year-old country based on the time we got independence. So now is the time for us as a people to garner together, to come together, to gel together, to cooperate and forget about political strife and political war, and build.
Yes.
You know.
Let me just make a correction. Make a correction. We have a lot of calls coming in, so but let me just make a quick correction. I don't believe Mr. Killa has a diplomatic passport.
That, he could meet with his minister, because he has that portfolio where he can meet with ministers and discuss in certain forum and platforms. So I would encourage him to reach out to the present government. He, as right now, since he's an ambassador, he's not an ambassador only for a political party. He's an ambassador for youth and the whole of Grenada. People are looking up to him, and it's not about joining a political party and running a platform, he said. And he's a very, very smart when it comes to him. Listen to him carefully, and I hope most of the people who type using their fingers to type stuff would listen to what he's saying.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate you.
And I want to say,
go ahead.
I want to say, Junior, you don't even have to go to try to break down that. I just want to say to the caller, thank you very much, and I do hear your concern, and I like how you come in. You know, that is how we're supposed to work together. Now, I want to say this. Before I got a passport to my country, I'm a diplomat. Before I collect a passport to my country, I'm an ambassador. You see? And that is what a true ambassador is. Somebody who really earned it. I earned that title. So whether somebody take away my passport, I will still own that title. You see? Because the people say that is what I am. I just set new history again for my country. And I've been breaking barriers over and over and setting history. And I have many more to set. And what I am speaking is the truth. He said, let the truth shall set thee free. He said, he that know the truth and doeth it not shall be beaten by many a strife. I rather to be beaten by men than to be beaten by the Father. That's my belief. I am one of those people who hold the hands of the Father, not because I'm whining on stage. I like that. That is our African culture. You see? That doesn't mean that I don't know the Father. So I rather do the right thing because he wouldn't sit in my conscience. I have a conscience, and you say I also have emotion because I am a human being.
Right.
There is a time when you have to give up all of that. So if I then have to suffer the consequences of anything, I then will. You see, when we look at our history, the people who made the changes, it wasn't the cowards, you know. It was the brave.
Brave, yeah.
You see, it was the brave. So ever so often the Father will ignite the heart that is necessary and the mind that is necessary, and the downloads will start happening. You will become intelligent and you wonder which university, how much university did you go to, but you know and you understand things. You see, because the Father ignited. So when time to walk that road, you walk that road and you walk it strong. As my mother always sang when I was a little boy. For if I should die on the pilgrim journey, may Zion be my hope. You can't even afraid of death. You understand what I'm saying, Junior? Because this is the time. And if this is my time to fight for my people, this is what I will do. And as I tell them, youth, man, when I say fight, this is not the time to pelt big stone. We are in the year of Aquarius. The age has just passed. This is the time of knowledge and intelligence. And not just education, because education and intelligence don't mix them up. Because we have a lot of people that is very educated, but they are educated in particular things. And with book sense, a lot of them understand the theory and not the practical. You see? So you will get somebody that has never been to a university and put them in a ministry, and because of their heart and their passion and their understanding and the vision that the Father has given to them, they do 20 times a better job.
Yeah.
So let's find the people who have the heart and stop. Let us just put friends or people where we feel that we like in position to do things. You see?
Yeah.
Because Junior, there is some, before you go, there is some issues, brother, that I promise myself I wouldn't speak about unless it comes down to that time when it's necessary for me to really speak about it. Because they are doing madness. And I know of the madness that they are doing. Stop it. That's all I'm saying. So if I am an ambassador, a diplomat, I am then speaking to my colleagues. Do the right things.
Yeah.
And if my colleagues then wish, you understand, to, I don't know, try whatever funny thing, that's okay too. For the truth, we will stand firm. And that is where I stand, Junior.
Yeah. Let's jump to the phone line real quick. We got another caller on the line.
It's a long
caller,
list.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, caller. Caller, you live? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, caller, you live. Go right ahead. You're live and right along.
Okay, what's up, King Artist and Sister Show? I just wanted to say to y'all that two things come to mind. It is common denominator and stronghold. And the reason why I mention those two words is because globally, the Black and brown community is suffering the same thing around the same time for many years, and some is worse than others. And so when you look at the common denominator globally, and you look at the leaders in government, it's the same old people around the church and religious stronghold, and they all go to the Pope and they all go through Catholicism. You got to look at that stronghold. That's all I'm saying. In order for them to be some real change. This is years of the same old, same old, same old. We have the knowledge. We got to organize a global revolution. You hear me? That's the only way it's going to change, especially with our young people. And now is the time. Peace.
Yes. Thank you so much, caller. Thanks for your input right there. Thank you so much. Yeah, I want to say hi. I want to say hi and happy Valentine's to Samantha Latham and the Latham family over there watching in Toronto, Canada. Big up yourself, guys. Landy, how you doing? All right. I know you're watching and working at the same time, so big up to you, checking us out. Killa, I like the direction that we actually start in this conversation. There are over 700 people on the live right now watching, and I know that the powers that be, if they're not watching now, they go watch, they go sneak and watch later. So it's good to I like when we identify problems and set solutions to the problem. We spoke about the healthcare dialysis. Let's see how we could push that through, right? Do you intend to meet with politicians, ministers, and see how you could have this conversation of how we could take this to the next step? Not just a ride-along conversation, but instead something that is actually gonna come to fruition. It's actually gonna happen. Any plans to meet with any ministers?
Junior, for years, always been willing. That's what I tell you. There is things I can then speak about. There is things that I have created and presented to the government already. And nice, yeah, and it's gone. And I'm talking about things that can help culture on a whole. I'm talking about things that can literally help, like, the country. I'm talking about things that can even better tourism. And it's just, you understand? I suffer from that for years. So at the end of the day, brother, I look at me speaking here. It's simply because nobody doesn't hear. It has been the same thing. You know? I see there are times when the Prime Minister try. I come back from Trinidad. We had some things to do. Went and speak to the Prime Minister. Sit down there with the PM. Great conversation. He shared great love. He shared great interest in what is happening. And when he passed it down to the people to do it, Junior, is some of the worst experience. Some of the worst experience. So we as a nation is suffering from customer service on a whole. We as a nation, we are suffering from a type of mentality that gives us that drive. And nobody's doing nothing about it. So I can just come out and jump out and say, all right, well, let me just blame just the PM alone. But let me just blame this, whatever it is. You have some ministers, Junior, brother, if we go to have them conversation now, you will say, Killa, no, you're lying, man. You see? But that is not what I come here for. I just come here to say, let us, for whatever is happening, let us lead into the right direction. And if the government cannot do that, then let's change the government. And it is straight like that. I'm not afraid to say that. Maybe the next government might come and, say, well, all right, well, he's this or why that. I don't know how they're gonna feel about me, but I know how the people feel about me.
Right.
You see? I know how the people feel about me. And I know how I feel about the people. So that is what is important at the moment. So what I'm saying is this. When you look at the state of Grenada right now, me as a youth, I sit down and see a million things that could be better. And I'm not talking about take $1 million and spending this, and take $1 million and give a youth man on the block. It's not about that. It's about even accepting help. Simply accepting ideas. Simply listening the cries of the people and willing to work with them. There is a whole disconnect. So I don't want no politician going on the blocks and going in the community and giving youth man $50 and $100 when election coming. That is not teaching them how to fish. That is giving them a liquor fish, one jacks, to feed what you need to do at this moment. And then you're gone again. That culture needs to stop.
Yeah.
You see? They need jobs. They need infrastructures. And there is things, as I say, so much things that we can do. So all the people who feel that I come here to run down just the government or whatever it is, it doesn't matter which government in power. I will do exactly what I'm doing here right now if we are not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I have the most patience. So it takes me so long to get here because it is overbearing.
Yeah.
Junior, let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Let me start to talk the talks just a little bit because people don't know what's happening. The level of violence that is in some of the youth man mind right now, they don't know it. You see, young women getting raped, and a lot of it you don't hearing about it. You see, event happening. Age between 21 to about 24 or so. And you would not like to be there in that crowd, Junior, with what was happening. You would bawl. You would say, that is not Grenada. Really? That happening here? Really? So what I'm saying is this. If they have the ability to do the things to make them survive, eat food, pay bills, help their family, they wouldn't have to go down that road. We are losing our young men and we are losing our young women. And it is painful. If I pull up my phone and the amount of voice notes, I will play a voice note from now until tomorrow because they be calling me. When I meet them, they ask me for my number. I give them a personal number and I speak to them. Not now, Junior, that been happening for years. I sat down with people from different levels of authority. I'm not talking about even my government, way beyond that. In governments and in and in societies, I sat with them. For some reason, the Father has given me access into some rings where some of them who talking will never ever have the ability to step them foot. And when you have certain explanation, then you start realizing if we don't rise up as a nation and educate our youths and do the right thing now, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's simply what it is.
Let's jump on the phone line real quick, Mr. Killa. We're going to take a few more calls before we wrap up. We are a little bit over time already. Caller, you're live. You've been waiting for a long time. Go right ahead. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn. Junior, first of all, I want to give you props for allowing your platform, because there's very little platform in Grenada where you can actually speak your truth and not being victimized. And to Mr. Killa, my daughter always listens to you on Instagram, and she once said to me, "Ma, you must listen to that man. He's real smart. He's real intelligent, you know." And I started following you and always listening to your motivational speaking and speeches. I mean, I happen to have a little bit of your roots because my grandmother is from Gore, you know, and just keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Killa. I love you. I love you a whole lot, especially the whining, but, you know, just keep the positive vibes going towards the youth, you know, and my people. Because I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of young men in Grandans, lives have been destroyed because there's some fellas who selling cocaine and nobody could touch them, because to me, like, them and the police have a thing going. And the youth have been destroyed. A lot of young men. And that's no lie. So, you know, we have to advocate for our young people and our children. And I say hats off to you, Hollis.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, caller. Killa, and that is the overarching, that is the vibe that I'm hearing from people right now. They're fed up with what's happening right now. They're fed up with the status quo. Something needs to change. And anytime you open out your mouth and you speak, it somehow think that you're against a certain government or you're for a certain government. And why can't you just be for people? You don't have to be for government, for NDC or NNP or anybody. You just pro people. You're pro-Grenadian, and that's what you are. And oftentimes you get stigmatized, and I'm sure you get it as well. If you say certain things about any agenda, people start to point, oh, you for this one or you for that one. But it doesn't have to be about that. It's just the fact that you're Canadian.
If there is a people, if the government refuse to hear the cry of the people, then we have to change the government. Why people afraid to say that? Why people wake up and feel like this is about you personally or that person personally? If the Prime Minister have a party tomorrow and he invite me, I will wake up and I will go. That's all right. We can stand up and we can have a discussion, because that is not about you personally. There is an issue in the country and we need somebody that can fix it. Can you fix it? If you can't fix it, then let we fix it. Somebody have to listen to what we are saying. There is a problem. So if you don't know, it's me to tell you, because I am the ground. And also, what has not been revealed unto the wise and to the prudent shall be revealed unto babes and circling. There are some things that is happening on top that I cannot deal with. They have to deal with it. You see? Do your job. I am doing my job at the moment. That is my responsibility as an ambassador and as a citizen, first and foremost. And first, as a man, it is my responsibility. So that's how I'm doing. I'm not perfect. You see? None of us is perfect, brother. But there is some ridiculous things that is not necessary. And we could nip it in the butt right now. We can nip it. You see? So why we don't do that? There is youth men out there that literally feel the only way to survive in Grenada right now is to sell drugs. And hear what, Junior? I could take the show on the road. You know? Hear what, Junior? If it becomes a thing where by things. That is all right. I'll campaign for who I feel could then do it. If we have to get to that, you understand what I'm saying? If we have to get to that, then I'll campaign for whoever I feel then could make the change because we need it. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't come here for politics. I just come here to ask a question. But if I cannot ask a question and I cannot speak freely, which is freedom of speech, and we say, wake up, Grenada, something is wrong, and a minister feel like, okay, he's supposed to hate me for that and that means we cannot work together.
Right. Right.
And I could take this show on the road. Because all the youth men out there want to speak. The young women out there, they want to speak. So instead of I saying it, and you feel it's just me, I can take the camera to them.
Yeah.
I can take the show to them.
Killa, why think about it?
And listen to me, and there's a whole nother can of worms. So before we even have to go down there, because I could even take the camera into people's homes and show you. So no, it's not about that. So I'm not here lying. I'm here asking questions. And I'm here speaking the truth. And all I'm saying is that we need change. And I don't even want to prolong this, Junior, even too much longer. All I am saying is this. My beautiful little Spice Rock is paradise. And I see many ways to make our society and our community way better. When things was happening, let's look at the police force. The police force has a lot of men and women who are concerned citizens that wants to defend this nation. The police force also have some fellas in there who are very disgruntled, very ignorant, and also very wicked. Today I sit down and I listening some complaints. Just like during the pandemic when things was happening, the officers come and they fire in live wrongs and stuff like that. That is not necessary. So sometimes them youth man too on the block, it's not just the police alone. The youth man and them does do foolishness too.
Right.
And when you wake up in the day, you're supposed to go out there and try to find something positive to do. But some of them leave their house and go do negative things. So I can't just blame the police alone. Right? There is a balance in everything. But as a police officer, you have to deal with the situation because you are trained to deal with it. The youth man might not have the training. You see? But you will come and fire live wrongs, Rambo style. Where? Grenada, that is not necessary. You see? So they're telling me today, an officer come and pull out the gun. No, not in uniform, you know, and slam it down on the table and try to make certain statement or whatever it is. He have an uproar, but at the end of the day, you hear they pile big stone and this and that. We didn't hear what started. That's an issue. So what I did during the pandemic, I asked and I called and I asked and I said, you know what? I want the police officers to come in the community and let's build a relationship. Let's go down in the gun battle. Let's go down and talk to the youth. You understand? Shake their hand and say, youth man, what is your gripe? What is your complaint? What is the problem? How can we work and make this better? You see? Because this is Grenada. Everybody know one another.
Right, yeah.
This is little Grenada, brother. This is not New York. This is not some places where you go and it's just, you know, you don't need that. So come in the community. I could help build that bridge, ain't it? So if I could help build that bridge, and then you do use the bridge that you have, and then later on things happening, you don't think I would feel away?
True.
Because then I feel like you don't really care. You like it that way. Because then you get the exercise brutality. You see? So when I speak like that, somebody go turn and say, oh, well, you think that you're coming on the police force? No, the police force is necessary. Do you think that I want to live in a country in this day and age that does not have police?
True.
If you get a call right now and they say no police officers for 3 days, do what you want. Junior, you have to hide. You have to hide. You have to protect your family because of the state of the world in.
Yeah.
So the police is necessary. You see? So don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's the type of attitude that we use. And the strategy. That is important. You have wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Knowledge, just the accumulation of information. Understanding where it came from, where can it be placed. But then wisdom is how do you apply. So life is about application. A smart application lasts for a short while, but a wise application lasts for a lifetime. So you see, so it's all about having strategy. So why not take the advice? No, there was some officers that come at a certain rank and literally come together and try, and they come to meetings and the thing whatever it is, and they try. So all I am saying is that if we make a bigger effort, we get bigger results. Let me show you something I learned today. I went to the land that I got during the pandemic. And as I tell you, when I travel, I leave it with some young guys, tell them do their thing, and but these days it's trouble to get them to just walk the land, and I can just keep paying everybody out of my pocket for. I've been paying literally. I hire some people and I paid them for 2 years and a half out of my pocket. Junior, do you believe that?
Yeah, how you spoke about it.
I could show you every proof. You could ask my team. I talking about, Junior, sometime $14,000 for months, 14 grand I spend on stuff live out of my pocket. Ask them. This is the honest God truth. Tell me who on this live here ever try that or ever do that. Tell me which one of the ministers ever do that. You see, I'm talking about 14 grand, 12,000. I could go back and find all the pay stiff out of my pocket 2 years and a half. Just paying and investing into a team, hoping that something. But then I came to realize that there is a certain type of culture where they need management, they need more education into certain things, and I can't do it all. So I go back into the land, and a big portion of the land, bush grow. And I sit there, and it was, I'm telling my skin raised now. You know why? Because I learned a very valuable lesson. And I want to say this, and I want everybody to listen to me very carefully. This is for the mothers, this is for the fathers, this is for the young people and the big people too. Listen to me very carefully. I sat down in the little house that I built on the land, and I looked at the land, and the bush just started growing. I shake my head, I said, Jah, I spent a lot of money clear down and thing whatever it is. They really let the bush grow. And something clicked me in my head. You see, when the Father educating you, no university, no better than that. You know what my spirit said to me? He said, youth, that is just nature taking its course because you are not taking care of it. So when you're not doing anything, nature is working. If you don't cut the land, the bush will grow. So if you don't educate the minds of the youth, nature will take course. And what they're seeing, what they are receiving, it will grow. Just like how the weed in your yard will grow, brother. How come some people don't understand that? It will grow, brother. If you do not clean your yard, the weed will grow. And if you do not plant fertile things in your minds, the same way the weeds in your mind will grow. They always tell me since I'm small, idle hands is the devil workshop.
Yeah.
Junior, I don't mean to cut the live, but excuse me, I need to use the restroom quickly.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call right now. We're speaking live here with Mr.Killa. A lot said, and we over time already, but we're gonna go in for another 5 or 10 minutes or so. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Calling from Brooklyn.
Go right ahead,
Good
Brooklyn.
afternoon. Good night. I'm so glad to hear Mr. Killa speaking.
Yeah.
We need a lot more young people waking up, a lot more middle-aged people, a lot more older people waking up and speaking. Because Grenada is young and very deep in despair. You know, Mr. Killa, find some more energy, find some more people around you. Some people involved in your culture, some people involved in sports, some people involved in farming, some people involved in fishing, to deliver Grenada from the deep despair that we're in. I'm certain it will affect generations to come, not the next generation, generations to come. When Mr. Killa was born, Grenada never had a debt, DEBT, of $2 billion. Today, we are at $4 billion. Can we continue down that road where all we are doing is getting handouts at $10 here for the moment, and we are not productive? What lessons have we learned from slavery? Though how bad it may be, our parents did certain things and they survived. There are certain things that we use today, the roads that we use today, came from the carriage and the arcs and from slavery, but we continue to use it.
Yeah.
We have turned our backs on eating what we grow. We have turned our backs on growing things for us to eat. We need to recognize that the fish in the sea is very healthy for us. We may have strayed away from the days where we would have used contracts in the morning and banana and yam. But that made our parents strong. They survived. They were able to give us a secondary education, a university education. People wake up and realize that some of the people we have around us are not acting in our interest. They are not helping us. Time to move them. Some are young, some are old. Continue speaking, Mr. Killa.
Yeah.
Continue letting your voice be heard. And we need more to speak. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate you so much. We at that time we're going to be in the final stages of the program. Mr. Killa is back. But I also want to, before we go any further, there have been multiple pandemics happening simultaneously here. We have a pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic that everybody know about. But there are a pandemic that evolved that is not getting the attention, right? That's the pandemic of suicide. We have a lot of young people who are dying, they are basically so confused and frustrated that they're taking their own lives. And I want to end on that topic, the pandemic of frustration that's plaguing the youths of our island, and figure out ways that we could help the youths that's going through this pandemic that nobody don't have no vaccine to. Mr. Killa, what's your take on that? The analogy or what's happening right now where we have people that are committing suicide at an alarming rate in our communities.
All right, so we had a pandemic, as you say, the COVID-19 pandemic came. Now, when the COVID-19 pandemic came, there was a strategy that was applied to society. The strategy was to lock the people in their homes, right? So you have to quarantine, and then you had the curfew. In Grenada, we had curfew even longer than international countries, right? This is happening not just in Grenada, but worldwide. You can actually check the stats and check the numbers. A great rise of suicide throughout the world. Also, a great rise of new mental illness throughout the world, because human beings was designed to socialize. We are social beings, you see. And then plus the stress of the pandemic, the frustration, nobody is being reached. There was no programs, outreach programs for the mind to show people or to teach people how to then cope. I guess as much I cannot blame authority for just for not having the knowledge in how to teach people how to cope with something that is new. You understand? You can't blame them for that. But there was application that could be better to help people still yet feel the freedom of mind and of self. You see? Now, coming out of the pandemic, as I was saying, how come during the pandemic, like I wanted to ask this question, we were still exporting so much cash and importing so much food when we could have take some of the cash, build the programs, let the farmers go to their lands and plant more food. You see? Applications like that. A fisherman going out to sea, how would he give COVID-19 to me? I didn't understand that. One time some men cast a net, they make them Lego the fish. And who get arrested and charged? You see? So there wasn't a balance. So there wasn't no cushioning for the minds that are loose. And exactly what I said to you a while ago. If something is not being planted, weeds will grow. So there has not been a great effort to reach to the people in a kind of way. It's like he lock up and he left alone. You see? So Junior, we don't I don't have all the answers to the pandemic. Even though I have a lot of information, because I like to search, I like to dig. Knowledge is power. You understand what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. I found some very, people that are connected in places, and there's a lot of information. But the time you take to push, to promote, to market the vaccinations and all of those things, there is other things we need to market. Mental health and other health care. And that was not done. That was completely left alone. So now we are suffering from that. And I told them this around the first month into the pandemic. We had that conversation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We had that conversation. Help me to help you. Help me to help the youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see? So at the end of the day, brother, I don't have all the answers, but I definitely have questions. When come to that part of it, we need the professionals. We have psychologists on the ground. I even tried to do a program during the time where I have this psychologist from LA call in and give advice and stuff. We had discussions. I tried to do what I could do, but I alone can't do it. So we had programs about mind power and development and just mind safety and a whole, and teaching the youths that we will get to the edge at times, but taking your life is not the answer. The Father don't ever forgive you for that.
Right.
And it's just like a bad relationship. Today, you might feel like you want to take your life because of a bad relationship. But then you get out of the relationship and you hold on just a little longer. And when you get out of the relationship, you're like, what kind of shoppiness? What kind of shoppiness you want to do this? You understand? For what? So the problems that you have today, I want to tell the youths that if you stay focused, you would not have it tomorrow. You had problems before. And the problems that you had before is not the problems that you have now. So why don't you think that those problems now wouldn't pass also? It is only for a moment in time. We go through different phases in life. And in those phases, we will always sometimes find the edge. But when you reach those edge, it's only those that know that they have wings is going to fly. You see? So it's knowing, it's understanding. Knowing is a power. As I say, knowledge is power. But people don't understand it yet. Because if you do not know, how would you even, you understand what I'm saying? How would you even spread those wings? Because you don't even know you have wings. And
No, yeah. You can
so
apply
if you don't know you have wings and you don't believe you can even fly.
Right, yeah. True. You know, I always say I appeal to everyone, whether you are a vlogger or an artist or whatever. This is the time that we all have to come together and do whatever you need to do to help people. Because the next person on the next line, some people just in need of a conversation. Some people are just at the breaking point. They just need somebody to talk to. And what I like what you did specifically during that pandemic period is that you reached out and you gave hampers and you connected with people. People would forever remember that, Killa. People would forever remember that engagement that you had with them. When it was done and out, you came and you did what you had to do.
And for me, bro, when those people, and I have to big up Valda. There's a lady with a little shop in the back street right there. She give groceries from her shop. Call her friends, get a little money, buy groceries, and give. She pack all the bags every time. Every time I have to go out, she pack the bags. And I load up the trucks. And I drop for some people, but and I lick a bag of food. Junior, people cry and hugging me. Thank you so much for a little bag of food. And I say to myself, Jano, I never knew that people, you know what I mean? It's like we're naive to it. And the next thing about it, Junior, we also very poor proud.
Yeah, true.
A lot of people are in need, but they would not say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, we
You
see
understand
that.
Yeah. They always told us, make what we have, do. But how come they don't say to us, what you have today, make it do for today, but make sure that you can make more tomorrow.
Yeah.
And make what you have now, make more for you. We wasn't taught those things though. You see? So at the end of the day, again, it's all about education. And you have some people that when they look at society, when they look at each other, they only see themselves growing. How I can then use you to make me rich. How I could use you to make me good. That's all they see. Now, the youth, I want to talk to you because there is also a culture. And that culture kind of grew over some years now, more rapid than ever. I am a young man, so I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, it wasn't so bad. But there is a new culture now, Junior, that if a youth man see another one with a nice shoes, he will try to downplay it and he will try to hate it.
Yeah.
We are not motivated by the success of others. No more. We hate the success of others as a people. You see? We was talking about some brethren in Nigeria that is paying sister and aunt mortgage because he makes so much money. Pay the sister mortgage. The sister married and he taking care of the sister and the man. You see? And my brethren was explaining certain things to me. And it's like, but where is that? That culture has gone. They taught us a lot of foolishness. So instead of a youth man, see that a youth man leave the block, go and work, and come back. And when you see that youth man, you feel motivated. They say, what? Boy, I feel I could do that too. No, that is not the culture no more. You know what they do? They stretch your hand. Oh, give me a 20 now, boy. And if that youth man say, nah, brother, I don't have no money right now. What you mean? And you get paid and you work. They feel like they are entitled.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Now, there is some people in here, I'm sure you might have people in here who have studied psychology. So if somebody literally sees you and feel like they are entitled to have what you have been working for, it is a psychological implant of what? Dependency and entitlement. You see? So if the mind was independent, they would not even feel to beg. Because Junior, I don't want to beg nobody. If my mother tried to pay for something for me, I start feeling away inside.
Right.
But I always tell myself that I want to be in the position to help. Not for me to be a big man and she still have to dip in she pocket and help me. That will hurt my feelings. That means I have failed. You see? But that is a mind of, that's an independent mind. I watch it happen. So the youth men out there is a culture and we need to stop that. Young ladies, when you see another young woman move out and get a job and is doing well for herself, today I take pictures with women working, doing construction, lifting big stones. Young women that I know lifting big stones from on the side of the road. You know, no joking about that. No, what I do, I stop and I help them. I vibe them. I rock some speed and I still strong. I lift some big stone today. You see, you hear what I'm saying? When somebody leave and go and do the work and looking good, we're supposed to be motivated. Use everything that you see around you as motivation. When you see something crash around you, use it as education. Experience is the greatest teacher. Doesn't mean it only have to be your experience. It could also be other people's experience.
Yeah.
The best man to tell you how to do something is the man that already did it. The greatest man on the planet is who provides us service. The richest man. So when you start teaching the youth those keys of life, if they don't have the keys, how would they open the doors? So you can't blame only the government, but yet you still cannot blame the people.
The people, yeah.
You see? Because there is a lot that the government is responsible for. And there is some things and part of this story that the people are responsible for. Because every man is responsible for themselves. But we also have to understand it is technical. So you have to have a lot of sense to understand it. You have to be intelligent to understand it. Every man is responsible for themselves. But that is an individual application. Now let's speak about mass application. When you speak about mass application, then you are speaking about a nation. Then who rules the nation? Who leads the nation? So if the country is in a state, because a country with a powerful mind as people is a powerful country. Grenada was small, but during the revolution, the minds was very big and it was right brainers. So they became an example. Your country could be big as what? But if your people don't, where you going?
Right. True.
You understand what I'm saying? And your country could be small like this, but your people are intelligent. What do you think is going to happen? The next thing about it, if we keep importing synthetic things, GMO, the false foods, you understand? Importing that water. Grenada have some of the best water in the world. And I go into places and I go into hotel. No hotel cannot come in Grenada and just tell me about supply and whatever it is. We could supply. Then help the water people here to upgrade, boost up the water supply, and let us supply. No hotel. I'm just saying that if I in a position, no hotels don't come in and and how you call it? Import the Disani and the this and the that and wait. No, Grenada water. That is millions of dollars already. So I'm just saying application. That in itself is millions of dollars. You see, when I traveling on the airport, I am still every time they just laugh at me. Every time I go there, you know what I just get? Lipton tea. What about bush? What about spice? This is Spice Island. Everywhere you go, suppose to have spice tea. Everywhere you go. You see? So at the end of the day, if we invest, and not just that, I go and buy a piece of yam the other day. The yam is $17. For a piece of yam about this. $17. I really am in Milan. I want to see the $17. You know what I do? I still buy it. I still buy it in a junior. You was tough, but I buy it. $17 for a piece of yam. So, yeah. And I say to myself, if we plant enough, if the farmers get invested in, if we make it easier for the farmers, then we can plant more food.
Yeah.
Now, the food will get cheaper. Some people like fig, yam, and banana. Well, banana is fig, sorry, but you know what I mean. But if you make it cheaper, they're going to buy they're going to buy more. They're going to eat more of it.
Right.
Educate them about healthy eating, they might go for it. You see? But there is no promotion into those things. So why you feel they're going to buy? You know, cheaper than rice, easier to buy rice.
And it's true that what you say, Killa. We're gonna have to end on this note because we are at that creeping up at that time. That if you import the food of those territories, you're gonna import the disease of those territories. Hence the reason why you see cancer is killing more people in Grenada than ever before, because you have the importation of these GMO products. You know, everything from the chicken to whatever. It's contaminated. It is increasing the amount of cancer. There's long was the day when people was dying from just old age. Now young people dying from cancer. And that is a problem. But Killa, we have to leave it right there. We're way over time. We're going to close off right here.
Before you go, there is a mass of kidney failure. That something is causing those things.
The food, it's a diet. It's a diet.
A nation of health is a nation of wealth. Health is wealth. So we need to promote those things. Like I just started something called Fix It with Trees. And Fix It with Trees is going to help educate people to use the natural healing things around them that they don't even know. We have so much healing herbs, brother. The crotony that people has planted, the crotony, the colorful thing in your yard, the flowers, that is an extreme healing herb. When I finish, go Google it. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, let's take care of our kids. Let's feed them the right things so the right brain development can happen. The older people, let's feed them the right things, right? So they could live longer and they could teach us the history. We could have our people together, but that is not what they want to happen in the world, brother. So that's why they're feeding us all of those foods. And before you go further, tell me why I did not know when I do in Caribbean history or my history that Dominicans are some of the people that live the longest on the planet. They hide that from us, and it's all about how they eat. And there is people they're studying them at the moment, finding out why they live that long. You see,
it's all about the diet.
We need to archive our foods, our healing herbs, all of those things, and let's get back our health as a people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Killa, chatting with us there for the whole 2 hours. Killa, we did the whole 2 hours, boy. We survived. Thanks.
We could go a whole another hour, but what I'm saying, before I leave, I just want to say big up to the FFF. My friends, my fans, my family, and the freedom fighters forever. I want to say blessed love and thanks to my management team that have carried me for the years gone by. Thank you, boss lady, and my whole management team, Brad, everybody. I can't call everybody name. Thanks to all my friends, my supporters for years. Thanks to all my fans. I love you very much. Grenada, you are paradise. And I just want you to wake up and know that. Blessed love to all the good officers out there, the nurses. Sometimes they meet me and they break down to the doctors. Give thanks to you. The policemen, as I say, the policemen, the nurses, the doctors, everybody out there that have been doing a great job. Thank you so much for holding the fort for your country. Thank you so much. The good politicians are there because all of them is not bad. There are just some bad seeds in the meads, you see? So the good men that been working hard and doing all that they can do for my country, I want to say thanks to you. All the ambassadors abroad that have been working hard, holding the fort for Grenada. Thank you. I want to say thank you to my mother and my whole family. And Junior Judge, thanks to you. And I want to say thanks to all the good media people out there too, because you have a lot of media puppets. They don't care what. They will defend shit. You see? They don't care what it. They'll defend anything. You see, because that is the only way. And a matter of fact, I feel sorry for them because that is the only way they could eat.
They could
So
eat.
sometimes, that's the only way they could eat too. So they are trapped in that box. I just want to say thanks to all the people who are real people, do real things. Love you, and God is the boss. Me.
Yeah, man.
This one is for all the people that came
We're
from
gonna leave
nothing
you
to
guys with
something.
this song
Try so hard to live
by
a
Mr.
good
Killa was our very first theme song when Ridealong started. It was our very first theme song. This one is called From Nothing to Something. Before you guys go, I want you guys to listen it because it's a lot. It's a lot of meaning into the song.
This one is for all
That's
the
what it
people
was
that
our
came
theme
from
song
nothing
for
to something.
years. Listen, piece of this song.
Try so hard to live a good life and still get fight. Yo, Lebo, turn up the mic. Yeah. Every morning I wake up and pray, put my knees to the capital and God for my good life. Come and know if my heart wasn't pure in this life, no, I wouldn't strive. Sometimes my days was cloudy, but I kept my feet in the most high. So much pain and struggle and frustration I've seen with these eyes. So how could I tell me that I wouldn't? Whenever the fire is burning inside me, only Jah know how much I've sacrificed. Fire go and blaze on me and never rise. Can't fool me, I'm blazing. What's the proof them wrong? Cause I'm so amazing. They can't stop me now. Go tell them I'm blazing. From the sun come up till the sun go down. I'm so amazing. They wish me I couldn't raise.
Yes. When you guys get a chance, I want you to check out this song. Check it out. It's called Mr.Killa, Nothing to Something. It's on YouTube. Whenever I hear that song, I remember Charlotte Nurse, my good friend, bless up. And I remember all these times when we started, when we came from absolutely nothing to something. This song is inspirational, and that's one of the songs that kept me going through this whole thing here. When people are constantly on your back and people just have nothing good to say about you, no matter what you do, they just have nothing nice to say about you. This song helped me and remind me that you're amazing. We all are amazing. You came from nothing. You're gonna come into something, even if it is minute, even if it's small. So big up to Mr. Killa for inspirational song. And thanks to you guys for supporting us so we could bring conversation like this. Now, not all the time we have conversation, guys, that you may agree with everything a person say, right? And we don't expect you to. We expect people to have their own opinion. This is not a family of people who, we expecting you to just have one kind of tunnel of thinking. Have your opinion, but I urge and I beg and I plead to be respectful. That's all I could ask. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, you know. We all want the same thing. If you're from Grenada, if you're from Jamaica, if you're from Trinidad, you all want betterment for your place, for your country, but you just have a different way of getting to the finish line. So we just have to be respectful to each other's opinion. The people who are out there and they just oppose for opposing sake, listen, you are not helping the situation. And if you're not helping, you are hurting. If you're not helping, you are hurting. So just think about ways that you could change your posture. Change your posturing. Change your negative way of thinking, of coming across. Hopefully we could work together. We all could work together and make a difference together. We thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of our program today. And always, we appreciate you. Thanks for Facebook. For some of you guys watching, you realize that, there was some ads that was placed in between the program. That is Facebook monetizing our program so that we could continue to do this. Now, you could continue to support us by sharing this program. When you share this program, more people get to see it. Facebook monetize us even more. We could do more stuff like what we're doing here, build studios, help more people, and even help you. During the Christmas time, we had ham giveaways, we have hampers, we have fundraisers, and we do give away to a lot of people. You could do that by just sharing the program. If you want to do more, however, you want to do a little more, you could become a supporter. There is a little link right at the bottom there. Just click it and you could become a supporter. For $4.99 a month, you are an official rider, and you get your little tag to prove it. You are a rider and you are a supporter. It's $4.99, less than a cost of coffee per month, and you're an official rider. And all these funds that we get here on the program, it goes back into assisting people as we do every single week, every single month. And a lot of you viewers could attest to the fact that we are always there. We're only a phone call away. We don't have to wait on the government to make any changes. We are making changes in people's lives right now. And you could be the change that you want to see. Let all be the change that we want to see. We appreciate you guys so much on behalf of all our team here on Ridealong. To my senior producer, Lois J.J. Lynn, thank you so much. To my moderators, Deanne Fraser, Kims, and Gail, thank you guys so much. I can't do this without all you. All your mama move. You know that already. Not you guys bad. For everyone else who's celebrating Valentine's, happy Valentine's night, right? Happy Valentine's night. Have fun. Catch me again tomorrow. We have a very interesting program, and for the whole entire week, jam-packed program. Thanks for the support, guys. Share the program 2 more times for me, please. Thank you. Good night.
When every element of the Father is burning inside me, only Jah know how much I've sacrificed. Fire go and blaze on me and devil rise. Can't fool me, I'm blazing. What's the proof them wrong?
Do you feel sick? Are you unsure? Or need to travel, but can't afford the long, exhausting lines? Then you need to be tested for COVID-19. Here at All Pro Health Lab, you can schedule your appointment online. No wait, no lines, no hassle. And get your results back in 30 minutes or less. Call now to find out more. 516-828-1808. Our agents are always ready to help. Hear why everyone is talking about All Pro Lab. It's quick, efficient, and tests are guaranteed in 30 minutes or less with full certification. Check us out online at allprolab.com or call 516-828-1808. All Pro Health Lab. Call today.
Hello there. Let me introduce you to the Nutmeg Band. Playing in the background is the latest release, Take Me to a Party. Take me to a party. This music is now available on leading online stores. So please, pick up your copy today and tell all your friends about it. Get your copy now.
David Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
This one is for all the people that came from nothing to something. Try so hard to live a good life and still get fight. mic. Yeah. Every morning me wake up and pray, put my knees to the carpet and God for me good life. Come and know if my heart wasn't pure in this life, no, I wouldn't strive. Sometimes my days was cloudy, but I kept my feet in the Most High. So much pain and struggle and frustration I've seen with these eyes. So how could I tell me that I wouldn't rise when every element of the Father is burning inside me? Only Jah know how much I've sacrificed. Fire go and blaze on me and them rise. Can't fool me, I'm blazing. Watch me prove them wrong, cause I'm so amazing. They can't stop me now. Go tell them I'm blazing. From the sun come up till the sun go down. I'm so amazing. They wish me hand couldn't raise. Watch me raise. And they wish me foot couldn't raise. Watch me raise. They wish me head couldn't raise. Watch me raise. But tell them I'm not afraid to put up something and wave. Rise up and be brave. Every born warrior, let me see your hands them raise. When we put on wiggity and boots and step out the road, success and we target to find love and happiness in this life is better than money in a pocket. If you come from nothing to something, put your hand in the air, start pumping, and you know you feel taller than a mountain. Never give up, everybody start jumping high. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Let out the passion that's burning inside you. Only Jah know how much we've sacrificed. Fire go and blaze over and them rise. Can't fool me, I'm blazing. Watch me prove them wrong, cause I'm so amazing. They can't stop me now. Go tell them I'm blazing. From the sun come up till the sun go down. I'm so amazing. They wish me hand couldn't raise. Watch me raise. And they wish me foot couldn't raise. Watch me raise. They wish me head couldn't raise. Watch me raise. But tell them I'm not afraid to put up something and wave.
Well, it's on Ridealong, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Ridealong live, I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.